it's a Zerg versus Zerg. Alright, so we've got Coldfire top right, and GVB bottom left. It's one of my favorites, Andromeda. Given their positions, I'd say that the best opening builds for both of them would be 12-hatch. What it really comes down to, though, in a Zerg versus Zerg is all just build orders and scouting and countering. So basically, all you want to do is just, you know, if I see you doing a 12 pool, for example, I'm going to try to do a 12-hatch. So that way I have the macro advantage on you, and by the time that you get to my base with your Zerglings, I already have mine up, so therefore I have the advantage in that sense. So we'll see what kind of build orders they do.
What would you do as a build before you were able to scout them there? Because they're in cross positions, it could take a while.
In that case, I'd be banking on the fact that they would not scout me until after I'd already gotten my expansion up. That's one of the advantages of a 4-player map, is that you're hoping, in certain circumstances at least, that you get scouted last, so that you know, by the time your opponent actually has anything to do against you, you know, you've already got your expo up, you've already got defenses made, it's good to go. So we're seeing an overpool build from Coldfire here. And also, looks like maybe a 9 from GVB. I don't know if I agree with these build orders, to be honest, because it's a very big macro-oriented map with huge distances involved to get to any base. So 9 pool or anything below 12 pool really is not an advantage, I'd say.
Would you drone scout on this map?
Definitely. You want to get the scout out as soon as you can, because in a Zerg versus Zerg, you have to know what your opponent's doing, because if you don't, I mean, how are you going to counter their build order? So, so it's a good thing that they did that. See, the issue that I have with going 9 pool or 12 pool, or order pool like they did in this game, is that they're not going to have enough larvae to really do much in the mid game. These early 9 pool builds are best for 2s, I'd say, or quick games. So we might be seeing a pressure game here, I don't know.
What about taking the second hatch?
So
when would you do that?
My second hatch would
assuming you
already
went
be
this
up right now. If I'd gone this build, my second hatch would be coming down right about now. Oh, a little bit of Zergling micro here in the middle. Brown's coming ahead. I think they both had 6 to start, so it's now 5 Zerglings to 1. That's not good. So here's the thing. So let's, for example, say that I was top right. See, I would have had my second hatch almost finishing by now. And if you look at bottom left, he's going lair. At that point, it's a simple move to just make a bunch of Zerglings and counter. Right about the time that the Spire's about being put down, or about mid HP, is when you're showing up in their base with a control group to 2 of Zerglings. And since they've gone lair into Spire, they usually don't have the Zerglings to defend against it.
But that wouldn't work on a 2-player map.
Sure would.
Oh, okay. But you just said you'd rather do it on a 4-player.
Well, I'd rather do a 12-hatch on a 4-player map. But I'm saying, if I'd gone the build that top right did, by this time I would have my second hatchery already done and have a big counterattack going into the Zergs at bottom left.
Okay, fair enough.
But he is doing the right thing.
Looks like hatchery's going to go down.
See, he doesn't have as many Zerglings as he should, but he still has enough to do the job, I think. See, bottom left has gotten too greedy. He's like, okay, I'm going to go Spire and Expo at the same time. Like, what happens if he sends a control group to Zerglings? Which he probably is going to have, you know? That's GG. think Zergling play is key for Zerg versus Zerg. So it's basically at this point where it's a good game.
Yeah. Sadly, we can't block the replay progress out on this because I hosted it on Echo.
It is kind of sad. I was taking a look at that. I can't help it. But yeah, all Zerg top right needs to do is just keep pumping Zerglings, maybe put down one spore colony at each of his hatcheries, and just move into the base over and over and over again. I mean, because basically what it is larva advantage. I mean, if you've got one base producing metas, two bases producing Zerglings will be able to beat you, because I mean, here's what goes down. I mean, if you send the mutas to top right to try to kill him, all top right's got to do is just send his Zerglings in to kill you. So basically, you're forced to either defend or attack and die. So that's never a good position to be in. It looks like Coldfire is trying to use something similar to my build here. If I'm guessing right, Coldfire was telling me the other day he was going to try my ZVZ build. If I'm guessing right, he's just going to keep producing Zerglings and probably win that way.
Interesting choice to make Scourge.
Actually, 2 Scourge before metas and a ZBZ is godly if you pull it off right. What you do is, in this sort of situation, what happens is the first 3 to 5 mutalisks are showing up for both players, right? So you send 2 Scourge in to hit 1 mutalisk each, and then your mutalisks come in and one-shot them. And so immediately you have
my
a 2
point was
meta
being
advantage.
that he hasn't even started the Spire.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I'm sure Brown was probably expecting that there was going to be a Spire, though. Yeah, he's doing my build fairly well. He's got this the sport colony each base, like I was guessing, and he's got the 3 hatch. He's not really producing very much, though. The key is that you need to have the natural expansion and a lot more drones.
How many mutas would you say it takes to kill a spore?
I think it's like 4, and they take pretty heavy damage. It might even be 5, I'm not sure. Yeah, so he's doing the right thing here. He's keeping the pressure off himself by, you know, attacking the bottom left. And that's that.
Next up, Heartbreak Ridge.